Hi, my name is Hassan. I asked Gilbert earlier if I was allowed to make any 9/11 jokes, and no, the reason I did that was because I don't know if 9/11 jokes usually fly or everywhere. Man, I was actually worried I was gonna go over some of your guys' heads, but I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I made the mark. Anyway, so yeah, okay. Hi. Okay. So, okay. For those of you that don't know, which is pretty much everybody here, I'm Pakistani, right? So, I'm glad somebody. Wait, are you Pakistani actually?
I'm Indian, but I love you guys.
Oh, thanks. I'm single-handedly gonna squash the beef of generations right now. Anyway, so people usually say, they usually make the assumption that I'm Arab or something, so that they go like, oh, are you 9/11 brown or 7/11 brown? But because I'm from Pakistan, I'm from a country that's Muslim majority, but is also South Asian. It's like right next to India, so I'm both. So it works out that way. Yeah, okay. I'm always pretty nervous making jokes like these, like in front of like big crowds. I'm always kind of picky about the crowds I make these type of jokes to because, yeah, thanks, bro. I just, if it's like usually like an all white crowd and they laugh at the jokes, I'm worried that they're laughing a little too hard, you know. Making the jokes, self-deprecating jokes about my race, right? Which is cool. I'm allowed to do it. It's my own race. But when a white person like laughs at it, I'm always confused whether to be just flattered that they think I'm funny or like, dude, you can't laugh at that. That's not. Allie, you can laugh. That's cool. All right. I'm just glad giving you the pass. I'm actually. It's really cool to see how like diverse this like group is right now. Yeah. Good feeling, honestly. Back to me being Pakistani. I'm from a country that was kind of like drone strike during the war on terror. So yeah. Hey, it's gonna get louder. Just give me a second. Basically, yeah, absolutely. Despite like that, I would still get stopped by like recruiters about like enlisting in like the U.S. Army and stuff. Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of ironic because basically the job is just to kill brown people and take their resources. And I wouldn't want to enlist in that because if I ever wanted to like kill a brown person, I would start and end with myself. It's not all bad, I get to make jokes like that at my own expense. Jokes like that you're allowed to make at the expense of like your own people's like past suffering and stuff like that is something I actually caught from my good friend. One time, his name is Justin. Basically, one time, it reminded me of a time when I was taking a test online, and in the middle of taking the test, my computer shut down, and I was worried it didn't save, so I shouted in the middle of the room, "Oh no, this is the worst thing that's happened to anybody ever," which I know it wasn't, but it felt like that at the time. And my roommate Justin came in the room and said, "What happened?" And I know it's not the worst thing that happened to anybody ever. You know why? Because slavery happened. And I had no rebuttal to that, because that is true. I mean, it did minimize my emotions in the moment, but I mean, he was right.
No, you just...
There's nothing I can say to that, Okay.
What you said?
Yeah. So, I have no segue for this one, I mean, so, you guys are aware of, I assume some of you are, you're all over like 20, so you have to be. You guys know R. Kelly? Yeah. Great music, by the way, that's, we went to jail, for killing some kids and stuff. But one thing I remember R. Kelly from was that he did a collab with Nick Cannon one time. And Nick Cannon very recently, just got his 9th kid, bro. He's like building his own army. He's building a freaking army with his 9th kid. He's almost at 10. I believe in him. I think he's gonna do it. I was wondering what the stipulations of the collab between Nick Cannon and R. Kelly were, like, what they like came to agreement on what the collab would be about. And I was just like, I thought like maybe R. Kelly was like, hey, I'll help you with this collab, and you could like make my future wife. Yeah, I know, I'm about to get booed off right now. So, okay. When I was young, I was taught about the nuclear family. Do you guys know what that nuclear family model is? It's basically the... Yeah, that's right, the 2.5, yeah. So it's like the parents and then the 2.5 kids, you know?
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5 kids. See, the 2.5, yeah, exactly, what? Yeah, it confused the hell out of me. The 0.5, I was wondering what the 0.5 was. You can either have a whole ass kid or none, yeah. But I guess the 2.5 also included in the pictures I saw, like the dog. There was a dog too. So I guess the dog was the 0.5 in the 2.5 scenario. So I mean, you know, and yeah, exactly, yeah. You could love a dog. I guess the reasoning was you love the dog, but not as much as you love your kids. You love about half as much as you love your kids. Yeah, exactly. And whether they're a good person or not, and they would obviously choose the dog. But basically, I guess it just kind of put like a whole new connotation to the term "son of a bitch" for me. Oh yeah, I recently graduated from UCR, like very recently. Anybody else also graduated from UCR? Hell yeah, man. FAFSA come through, or are you like in crippling debt right now? What? Or did FAFSA come through, or are you in crippling debt right now? Oh hell yeah, me too. Yeah. No, that's why I chose it. But one thing I learned pretty late at UCR was that there's a area called the Well, which like gives like free birth control products like contraceptives and condoms and stuff like that for free, right? Which that's pretty cool. But it's covered by tuition. But what's not covered by tuition is like textbooks and shit. I always thought that was all when I was shelling out like $150 for this useless textbook that I just PDF'd fucking anyway, yeah. And then all of a sudden, like all like the condoms and shit, they give that away for free. It's kind of a weird like priority for the university. I don't know, from my perspective, but I was thinking like, I guess my right to nut safety was like more important than like the textbook that I need for education. I don't know. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.